Hey, good morning, everyone. So, can you confirm audible or not? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So, where we stopped in the last session? Last session, what we discussed? I asked you to install Express, this Express command, make it available. Okay, up to here we completed, right? Up to here we completed or not?
Yes. Sir, HTML only, sir.
Again?
Sir, HTML
No,
selector we completed.
HTML selectors.
Yes, sir.
This is Node.js weekend batch. You are from UI full stack. Hello. This is Node.js weekend batch 7 to 8:30. Okay. If your belongs to UI full stack React, okay, just you can drop. Okay. UI full stack React, we don't have any sessions. Monday we have session. Weekends we don't have. Okay. This is Node.js. Okay, let's go with this. I ask for you to make this express is available in your machines. If the express is not available, okay, then that time just do npm install -g express, npm install -g express generator. Okay, and then you can go to the workspace folder. Just you can create your application. I ask for you to do this one. Okay, now let me open our workspace folder. Just I want to create an application. Okay, step by step, I want to add features in that application. Okay, let me open folder. Go to our workspace or node, right? This is the one. No? So this particular skeleton, how you get it? The basic skeleton, how you get it? By running this command or not. If the express is not available, if the express is not available, how we can get the express? Okay, npm install -g express, npm install -g express generator or not. npm install -g express generator. Okay, you have to make that express is available first. You have to make that express is available first. So once express is there, I want to create an application. Mode with express. Mode is not a technology. It's like an environment. Mode is not a technology. It's like an environment. Okay, in this environment, we can run the JavaScript outside the browser. They provide a special environment to run the JavaScript files outside the browser. Okay, so with the Node with Express, I can do okay some endpoints. I can create all these things. So that today, just I want to explain how to create one simple endpoint. All the features, whatever we mentioned in the course content, all the features we are going to add in that applications. Okay, so if I run this, I can get this skeleton. If I run this command, if I run this command, I can get this skeleton. Okay, once I get this skeleton, see any JavaScript related applications, either Angular or React or Vue.js or Node.js, any JavaScript related applications, you can see one of the file that is like a package.json file. That is like a package.json file. This package.json file contains what? It's the package.json file, right? This package.json file contains what? Application related dependencies. See how many dependencies? Okay, these many dependencies. How many dependencies? These many dependencies are required. Okay. By default, Express has some other modules also, like HTTP. Okay, those are not required to download. By default, we can use it. By default, we can use it. We'll see that. Now, once you have the package.json with some dependencies, how we can download these dependencies? Once you have this particular package.json with some dependencies, how we can download those dependencies? By running one of the command called as a npm install is the command. So how we can run npm install is the command. Npm install is the command. So whenever you run npm install command, it is looking for package.json. It is looking for, okay, you know, in React.js how when package.json is working, same like this here also. Whenever you run npm install command, it is looking for package.json. In the package.json, it is looking for dependency section. In the package.json, it is looking for dependency section. In the dependency section, whatever you mentioned the libraries, those libraries you can download. Those libraries you can download and place where in the node underscore modules folder. So whenever you run npm install command, there has two files, okay, two items created. One is like node underscore modules one item, the another one is like a package log.json is like one item. Two items can create. So once you have the node modules and the package.json or the package log.json, I can understand like my libraries, whatever I mentioned, those are like downloaded. Those are like downloaded. So the next one is like in the scripts section, if you observe, in the scripts section, if you observe, start node dot binu www. By using node, what we can do, we can run the JS file or not. So they run one of the JS file in the bin folder. The file name is like www. So in the bin folder, if you go to this, in the bin folder, www, there has one file is there. Okay, this file is running. This file is running. To start your application in the bin folder, www file is running. Understood? In the bin folder, www file is running. Understood? Okay. So here, overall, if you observe, okay, overall, if you observe, how many files and folders created, okay, package.json, app.js, views, routes, public, bin by default created. Node modules and package log.json, how it's created. Whenever you run one of the command called as npm install is the command. Whenever you run this command, this package log.json and node modules is going to create. Package log.json, whatever the packages you mentioned, whatever the libraries you mentioned with some versions, those versions it's going to lock here. Those versions are like locked here. So don't touch this package log.json. Don't touch, no need to touch. And whatever the libraries you mentioned, those libraries you have to download and place in your application, right? Those libraries I downloaded and place in my application. In which folder? Node underscore modules is the folder. Node underscore modules is the folder. Understood? Node underscore modules is the folder. Okay. Up to here, okay, everyone? So my package.json, my package log.json, okay, and node modules are okay. So these three files, package.json, which contains all the application dependencies and some commands to run your application, to build your application. Build nothing is there. To run your application, some commands we have. The next one is like package log.json and node modules. Package log.json, node modules, auto-generated files while running npm install command. Package log.json, it's log all the versions. Node modules, which is it's a folder which download all your libraries and place it here. Download all the libraries and place it here. Understood? Up here, okay, bro? So the next one is like, let's go to .bin www. What is this .bin www? What it contains? See this. Okay, first, we already discussed about exports and imports. Already we discussed about exports and imports module concept, ES6 below and ES6. So whenever you use like require and module dot exports, this is like ES6 below syntax to export and import values. So where app require, okay, dot is nothing but what? Dot is nothing but one level up. Okay, I am here, one level up is nothing but in this level. In this level it is looking for which file? App.js file. So in the app.js file they exported something that is like imported here or not. So let's go to app.js, what they exported. Now see here, there has module.exports one app they exported or not. Module.exports one app they exported or not. In this one there has multiple modules imported. HTTP errors, okay, one module they imported. That particular HTTP errors module already, see the library already I downloaded. See HTTP errors module already downloaded. The next one is like Express. If you observe package.json, Express also already downloaded. The next one is like a path. The next one is like path. If you go to package.json, path is not there. Path is like by default, it's like a, okay, one, okay, inbuilt module. It is like no need to install directly path module, you can use it. That is like a inbuilt module in your Express. Okay, in your Express you can use like a path as like a inbuilt module, no need to install it. The next one is like cookie parser and Morgan. Cookie parser and Morgan, see Morgan also there, cookie parser also there. Okay, path is like a predefined one, remaining all are like what? Okay, you have to install it. You have to install it. The next one is like these all modules you install. Okay, the purpose we'll see. If you want to create an application with Node, see the Express. By using Express you can create an application. Once you create an application, there is multiple configurations here they did. What these configurations will see later, and they exported that app or not. Once they exported, this is like ES6 below syntax. Once do module.exports equals to app, you can import it. See this, you can import like this or not. You can import like this. Okay, the next one is like what? The next one is like debug. Is there one more module? This debug module, if you observe here, see this is also I already downloaded or not. And the debug module, okay, up to here my debug module returns me something. Okay, that one I called, and this particular one returns me some value. Okay, function you can say, it returns some, okay, require debug, it returns me some function. That function called, think like that. This is one thing. The next one is like HTTP is the module, already we discussed it, to create the node server. Now, if you observe the package.json, HTTP module also not downloaded here. But still you are using means HTTP module is like a inbuilt module in the node or not. So path, FS, file system, and this HTTP module, these all are like inbuilt modules. No need to install, no need to do npm install. Nothing is required. Directly you can use it. Directly you can use it. Now, if you come here, I imported app and debug and HTTP. This is used for to create the server. To create the server. The next one is like, see the port number in my application. Okay, in my local machine, I want to run my application in one service. Okay, that service identity I want to give by using port number. So the port number, you can either fix it or you can, okay, instead of hard coding, okay, just you can go with process.env. On env environment file, in the environment file also, you can mention the port for loosely coupling. What is this environment file? I will show you the environment file I'll create and I use that one. That time you can come to know. For now, the port number, okay, in my local machine to run my node application, I need one service. The service identity, I want that identity is like a port number. Okay, normalize port to process.env.port to 3000. App.set, okay, to this particular application, I have to set the port. That port should be unique. Okay, already used port you should not use. If you use already one service using that port, if you try to use the same port for different service, it gives like an error, like already that port number is like used. Okay, so that make sure that port is like unique. Okay, now once you decided the service, once you decided the port, now what you have to do? Once you decided the port, what you have to do? The next one is like to run the node application, I need like a server. To run the node application, I need like a server. I need a server. Now tell me how we can get the server. How we can
HTTP
get the
create
server?
server.
We have HTTP predefined module is there. Last class we already discussed it, right? HTTP module. It's a predefined module. You can use create a server to run which application? To run this app. Okay, already app by using Express you created an application or not? Yes or no? You created a server. Once you created a server, you have to start the server. Okay, in the server one application is there. Okay, you have to start the server means once your server started, the application also up and running or not. So my server, okay, start in which port number?
2000.
Okay, listen, my server, listen, what is the port number? Here the port number you mentioned or not? Okay, now server dot on, is there any errors or there? Okay, while doing, it means while running your application, while starting your server, any application on is like a listener. Okay, if it is like an error, this on error callback is going to trigger. We are going to give the callback to on error. See this, somewhere you can see the on error. See this on error. If it is like a success, if it is like a success listening, on listening, callback method is going to execute. On error is going to execute event listener HTTP server error event. Okay, while running my server, okay, if you get an error, this on error is going to execute. If it is like a success, on listening is going to execute. It's like a callback or not. Okay, normalize the port also, one method it's going to parse into, okay, some conditions there written. Got my point? Up to you. Okay, agreed. Okay, once if it is like a success, if it is like a failure, whatever it may be, okay, you have to show some messages, right? If it is like a failure, okay, some, okay, the port number is already in use. So that kind of messages you can get it based on some message. Okay, in the error, this on error is called by whom? On method. Okay, by passing some values. Okay, the error messages. Okay, so based on the error message, they written like some conditions, some conditions. If it is like a success, if it is like a success on that particular port number, okay, just they are going to, okay, give the message like, okay, listening on that particular port number, something like this. It is going to show if it is like a success. So now I want to run it. Will it able to run properly or not? I want to check it. So if you want to run in the package.json, we have one command is there. Start is the command. So let me run this command. Okay, how we can run it? npm start is the command. npm start is the command. npm start is okay. Npm start is the command. Now it is running. On which port number it is running? If you
Sir, I think we have to run app.js, I think, sir.
again.
Uh, we have to run app.js, right? Or we have to run,
Okay, we can run direct app.js. Now see, in the app.js, okay, na? In the app.js, app express. This is also one more way. Okay,
hmm,
see, this is my app application created. Once that application created, you exported that application. Yes, no.
yes,
Once that application exported, you imported here. Yes
yes.
or no? Okay, we set that path, okay, set the port number to my application and run that particular application or not in the server.
Okay.
Yes or no? Here, see, you add that application to your server or not.
So total configuration is in this file, so we are running this file, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this is one way. If you don't want this one in the app.js, okay, here you can write like app.listen on which port number you want me to listen, that one you can write and you can run it directly app.js. But they provided like this now, so
Yeah.
that you can directly use it. See, this is one way, Express application. I want to create my own skeleton, that time different way, okay? Now?
Okay.
Okay, now check is it really running or not. Localhost 3000 is the port number. Okay, localhost 3000 is the port number. Localhost 3000 is the port number. Yes. Is it like running or not running? Check it. See, are you able to run?
Run.
One second now. Yeah. Now are able to see localhost in the 3000 port number. My Express server is running or not? Okay, my Express is running or not? Yes or no? Okay. So if you observe here, instead of 3000, if you want to change the port number, you can change it. So how we can change this one? Now if you observe here, here you can change it. Here you can change it. Okay, done. Now whenever you change this one, localhost 2020, will it work or not work? Now see, it is not work. Not running, right? So where you want me to change? Come on. Where you want me to change?
We need to run the terminal again, I think.
Go to app.listen.
Uh, No, sir. We need to run again npm start, I think, sir.
You need to right. Okay. I don't want to run every time like this. Then what is the option? See, if you run the JS file, if you run the JS file with no any changes you made in the JS file every time, or JS or in our application, every time you have to restore the server. Instead of doing like this, if you want live reloading, then the type instead of go with the node, can you go with the node mod? Okay, so let's go with the node mod. So make sure node mod is there or not there in your machine. Okay, check node mod is there or not there. It's not recognized. So what you have to do?
npm
You have
install.
to, you have to install it. How you can install the node mod? npm install -g node mod. npm install -g node mod. Okay, once you install this node mod, directly you can use that node mod here or not. Now, if you run your application like npm start, your npm start, okay, now it is going to run what node mod. Now it is going to run on which port number localhost 2020. Okay. Now, if you want to change it, you can change in the www file 2021. If I do save, okay, if I do save, check it 2021. But this is not like in the code, right? If you do any change in your JavaScript files or users or index.js, here if you do any change, then the time is going to listen. Now, if you come here, that's it. If you do the change in the www file, okay, is node is like able to listen or not? It is not able to listen. It's not able to listen. So code changes, port number you should not change frequently, right? Code changes you can do it. Then the time node is going to listen the changes and it is going to push it. So this is not the code, right? It's a kind of configuration. It's a kind of configuration. So node is going to work like what in the users.js, for example, if I do some change, can I do control S? Now see, it is like restarting the server or not. Okay, in the code, in the development. Okay, now if I do the change in the configuration, will it work or not work?
Not here.
Okay, not work. Configuration is like it's a kind of one-time operation, right? It's a kind of one-time operation. So, okay, so that makes sure the configuration, okay, you can do at only one time. The next one is like once you do any configuration change, okay, once you do any configuration change, okay, you have to do what? Either node or node one, you have to do the server start or not. Okay. Now here, what is this process.env.code? If this is not there, okay, if it is not there, then only, right? Okay, if it is not there, then only it is go to this one or okay, how we can get this process.env? How we can get this process.env?
You can
How we
create
can get
an
this
environment
process.env?
file.
Hmm? Yeah. You can create one .env file in your application. Okay, .env file. Can you create .env file? In this .env file, this dot env file, you can do one thing. What you are looking for, what
For port number.
you are looking for the port number, right? Okay, so that port you can mention here, PORT. Don't use double quote nothing. Simply direct value you can mention. Direct value you can mention. It's a kind of configuration, right? Again, it's a kind of configuration or not. It's a kind of configuration. So that okay, you have to do what? Restart your server or not. So how we can restart? npm start is the one. npm start is the one. Now see. Now if you come here, my server started. Now I'm looking for localhost 2000. Okay. If it is not work, then we have to do some configuration .env kind of. Okay. Now see, it is not able to recognize the port. Why it is not able to recognize the port? First of all, check what it is going to print. Is my port is really printed or not? You can check it in the www. Okay, here console dot log off, console dot log off. Okay, port number is process dot env dot, what is that? Port, right?
Port.
Port. Okay, now let me restart it. Okay, if it is not able to recognize or not able to read it, okay, how to read the data from the .env file means we have one library is there. .env is the library. What is the library name? .env is the library. .env. So can I install that library? So far how many libraries are there? Cookie parser. Okay, 6 libraries are there. I want one more library. What is that library name? .env. npm install .env is the library. Install .env is the library. Okay. Now it is like installed or not. Once it is installed, go to your www. Here only, right? I'm retrieving the code. Where .env, okay, is equals to require, what is that? .env. In the .env, okay, .env dot, okay, config, okay, it's a method, just you can call it. Okay, now this is the way you can retrieve the data from the .env. Okay, can we check it? Will it work or not work? Still, I'm not sure. Just check npm start. npm start. Now see the port number. Are you able to get it or not? Are you able to get the port number or not? Okay, na? So now in the 2000 port number, my application is running. In the 2000 port number, my application is running. Understood, everyone? When it is go to the next level, when it is go to the next level, whenever this environmental file is not having the port or not. Now, if I do any change here, okay, if I do any change here, now see the live reloading not happening. Why? It is not a, come on, it is not a port change. It's a configuration change. If it is like a configuration change, what you have to do? You have to restart again or not. Yes, sir. You have to restart again or agreed over. Okay, any questions? Anyone?
So why we create the environment file instead we can directly use the port. Or is there we have that option now?
Why, say for example, environmental variable, it's not a kind of code change, right? Yes or no? But if you observe here, www, it's like a JS file. If you do any JS file change, okay, let me show you one simple example. Okay, let me open FileZilla. Let me open FileZilla. There has multiple applications I deployed. Okay, I deployed multiple applications. One of the application you can take it. For example, VPS. If you observe here, you find like any .env. Yeah, see if you observe it. If it is like a .env file, okay, if it is like a .env file, you can do simply the code change here. You can do simply the code change here. Okay, .env file change. Okay, here you can change whatever you want. You can do the change. Whatever you want, you can do the change. Okay, no need to build your application. Just restart your server is enough. If it is like in the .env. For example, if you do the change here, it's like a JS file kind of. You have to build your application. Okay, you have to build your application again and you have to deploy it. So if it is like a .env file, you directly go to the server and you can change here, right? You can change here. Just restart your server. That's enough. Just restart your server. That's enough. But if it is like in this file, it's a JS file. In this file, if you do the change here, again you have to build your application and you have to deploy everything. That's the reason. Okay, you better to go with the env files. Another example also see. For example, now my node application is communicate with the MySQL database. MySQL database, which is running in one server. It's like a GoDaddy, for example. It is running in the GoDaddy. It's running in the GoDaddy. Now tomorrow, just we decided like my node application here only there, but my MySQL I want to run in a AWS. Got it. So instead of GoDaddy, I want to run AWS. Now node connect with the MySQL in the GoDaddy means you have a connection string which is running where in one, okay, GoDaddy server, okay, in one port number it is going to run, for example. Now whenever you change it to AWS, now address changed or not? AWS, okay, AWS server, okay, it is like 3000 port number. For example, this particular address, if I hard code in the node code, what you have to do? Wherever this address is there, you have to change it to this address. You have to build again or not? Yes or no? You have to build your code. Why? Because I added this address in the Node.js application. If you do the same address here, if I add that address the .env like okay, db url, if I write some url here, my GoDaddy. Now instead of go to application and do the changes, simply I can do this change to AWS. Now the build application is not required. Directly restarting your server is enough or not? It's like this particular value is tightly coupled with application or loosely coupled. These configuration values,
Those two couple.
these values like loosely coupled, right? So because of these changes, we should not application build again, and we should not deploy all these. Like deployment is nothing but okay, some downtime is required. Yes or no? That's the reason, okay, this kind of configuration, URLs, okay, and port numbers, okay, and I can say like server paths, for example, file paths and everything, better to go with, okay, env variables instead of go with, okay, instead of go with what? Instead of go with your hard-coded values in the code. Understood? Why? Hmm? Why dot env? So not only here, okay, not only in Node application, React application also .env file. Okay, the another application, any application you can take it. .env file is okay, required, better to or recommended to use it. Okay, sometimes what happened, these configurations we maintained in another application. Okay, another application means Vault, that kind of applications. Okay, okay, the secure password storage configurations and everything you can store in another application. From that application you can retrieve the data. Okay, whenever you change, you can change in that particular area. Okay, now if you come here, this is my Node application. This is my Node application. In my node application, I have a .env file is there. Okay, that is not, it's a configuration file. It is not like a code. Now, this my node application, without touch my node code, if I want to do any changes, I can do any configuration changes or required port number, DB URL. I can do the change in the .env. So my node application, no need to build, nothing is required. Sometimes what happened, okay, they don't want to place your passwords and your URLs in the env file itself. They want to provide some more security, so they create, okay, they tie up with some applications which they maintain only passwords configuration stuff securely, so that my company people purchase some space for configuration purpose. Whatever de.env is there, that .env changes I'm going to place where in my, okay, in my external web application. In my external web application. Okay, whenever it is like external web application, it's not .env. Okay, it's like just store like a key value base. Okay, like URL is something. Okay, the next one is like something or like this configuration. Once you do the configuration, my node is getting the values from this external website and you can use it. So two ways. One is like you can use .env. Like you can use like a .env. Okay, if you want more security, you can purchase, okay, some space from different service providers which maintain your passwords like this. Okay, just you can, okay, see this, Vault for business, online password storage, enterprise password management tool for all the teams. Secure your business passwords today, like that. Okay, not only passwords, okay, the DB URLs, DB passwords, and everything we can store in the external websites. Got my point? See, Vault secures, stores, and tightly controls access to the tokens, passwords, certificates, API keys, and other security critical and modern computing. Okay, this is like one of the external website which stores all your information. So my node is going to connect with this particular vault and you can get it. Tomorrow, if you want to change, no need to touch this node. Okay, you can go to this website, you can change here. Tomorrow, if you want to use, if you use like env, no need to touch this one. Don't go to .env and change this one. In this case and in this case, common thing is what we not touch our node code or not. Okay, it is not like a development change, it's like a configuration change. Configuration changes should not impact on your application. got my point? Any questions, anyone? Okay, na? Okay, then. Now, my application is running on which port number? 2022. My application is running on 2022 is the port number. Okay, done. Now, let's go. Now onwards, our actual session is going to start. Okay, up to here, how the application configure, how to run the application, just we discussed. Okay, na? Now come here. This is my node application. Okay, na? This is my node application. My node application, which is used to communicate with my database to perform some operations or not, which is used to communicate with my database to perform some operations. Okay, communicate with my database to perform some operations or not. Agreed? Perform some operations. Yes or no? This is my node application. Now, if somebody, if one person wanted to communicate with my node application, he should know what. One person wanted to communicate with your node application, you should know what.
URL
Address, right? Address. So, what is the address where my node application is running?
2022 localhost.
Localhost 2022 or not. My application is running on localhost 2022 or not. My application is running on localhost 2022. Yes or no? So, if I know localhost 22, okay, if I know the address, I can reach up to here or not. I can reach up to here. If I know the address, I can reach up to here or not. Yes or no? Okay, na? Okay. Then. But the purpose, okay, here. The purpose of this particular application is what? To perform some operations on the database, right? So tell me one simple scenario, one scenario, okay, to store some data. One simple scenario, tell me. For example, okay, this is like a one school DB. Okay, in my school database, what kind of data we are going to store? Come on. Okay, students data, students registration, that kind of stuff. The next one is what? Next one is what? What is the next one? What is the next one? Students data. The next one is like faculty. The next one is like his marks. The next one is like his fee. This total information, right? We can store it or not. Yes, ma'am. So if you want to store students data in the database, somewhere you have to write the code, right? Somewhere you have to write the code or not. So where we are going to write usually the code, where we are going to write,
No,
we are going to write in your node application, where we are going to write the code. Hmm. the node application, it is JavaScript related, right? So in one JS file, we are going to write the code or not? Yes or no? Okay, I need a clean separation. I don't want to write all this in one file. That's the reason just I added like one of the file called as the student.js file. Now, same like this, faculty details, if you want to maintain, which file you want me to write, faculty.js. The next one is like mocks if you want like a mocks.js. Okay, the next one is like if you want like a fee.js, or if you want like a fee, it's like a fee.js, or it's like students.js, faculty.js, mocks.js. Another one is like what? Fee.js. Another one is like fee.js. Okay, Dana. Now, this person, for example, you are the person. Okay, just you want to store student information. Okay, you want to store the student information. Okay, you want to register the student. Then the time this person has to communicate with whom? This filer, this filer, this filer, this filer. You want to register the student. Then
Student.js.
first one, right? Student.js or not. So, for example, if I reach up to here, that's okay, fine. I know the address. From here, if you want to go to student.js, the student.js address also required or not? Yes or no? Required or not? Tell me. My student.js address also required or not? Okay, na? Done. Now, once you know the address of this student.js, from here you can go to student.js. Okay, for example, he want a faculty registration, faculty. If you want to maintain the fee. So if you want like a fee, if you want to save some student paid some fee, that fee details I want to save it. So that this person has to go to, okay, up to fee or not. This person go to up to fee or not. So first you should have to reach, for example, okay, you want to communicate with me directly. Then the time first of all you have to reach to my state. From the state you have to reach to my district. From the district you have to reach to my mandal. Then okay, in one village, okay, then we can communicate. The whole address required or not, if you know the state only, shall we communicate? Can you
No.
be right? So that the full address is required or not. In the fees also, what kind of operations we are going to perform? Can anyone guess? Just I'm not asking the code. Just think about the requirement. In the fees, tell me. Okay, one is like uh, um, track. Okay, he paid or not. Another one is like save. Okay, another one is like who not paid, he has to send the notifications, that guy. Okay, like that, different futures related to fee we can write here or not. Different futures which is related to my fee, we can write it or not. Yes or no? You can write it or not. Now tell me, this person in the fee, one student paid the fee, so that the details has to save or not. So tell me, localhost 2020, if you know, you can reach up to node application. From the node application, you have to go to fees. From the fee, you have to go to where? You want me to track the fee, na, send the notification, or save the fee. Na? Which one? As per my requirement. Save it, right? Okay, so the full address is required or not? Whenever you know only localhost 2022, you can reach up to node application. If you know the address to my fee, okay, you can reach up to fee. Okay, if you know the address of save, from the fee you can reach up to save. Once you reached here, in this particular one, we can write the code to save your student data in the database or not. Understood? Come on. So one person wanted to communicate with my Node application or any Java application or Python application or PHP application. That person should know about the address or not. Yes or no? That person know about the address. Address is nothing but what? URL. That address we are going to build it now. That address we are going to build it not as a UI. Okay, as a backend developer, you have to build that address or not. As a backend developer, you have to build that address. Okay. So, okay. The next one is like who built that address? Who built that address? Who built that address? Okay, this persona or this persona, you want to talk with me directly. Okay, will you, okay, will you tell like, hey, you have to play, you have to stay in that area only, not like, not right, you are not the person to tell, or okay, okay, tell to me like you should have to, okay, stay in that area, where and address where I want to stay, everything I want to decide. Okay, that address and everything decided by me. Okay, where I feel comfort, there only I'm going to stay. So that address and everything I only decide or not. That means node application only decide this address or not. Yes or no. So this person know the address we can reach. Okay. Now the address is okay. Only address is enough. Okay, you have to travel means one source is required or not. Yes or not, either bus or flight or whatever it may be. So not only address, okay, there has one more input also required to this guy to communicate with this person. So what is that input? Can anyone guess? One more input also required to communicate with this person. What is that input?
Method.
Yeah, request method. Who has to decide? Who has to decide that one? Who has to decide that one? Okay, my server side guy or not? Okay, so the server side person, yeah, I'm here. Okay, we have our own transport or something, you can come with that one. That is easy for him or not. So the URL and the next input also decided by server side guy only. Now tell me, this server side person, on which basis he is going to decide the request method, as you said, based on which basis he is going to decide the request method? Huh? The request method, on which basis he is going to decide the method? Hmm? Based on the DB operation or not? Based on the DB operation. Okay, based on the DB operation. Okay, how we can decide based on the DB operation? Okay, what kind of DB operations we are going to perform? What kind of DB operation we are going to perform? Tell me. Okay, one is like you insert a new data, right? New data. One is like you can insert a new data. Insert a new record. Okay, once inserted, okay, the inserted data we can do update or not. Update or not. Once it is like updated, okay, if you want that data, you can retrieve it. If you don't want the data, you can delete it. You can delete it. Yes or no? So these only the operations we are going to perform on. These only the operations we are going to perform on. These are the operations we can perform on. Yes, sir. So whenever it is like insert a new data, new record, the request method is what? Can anyone guess? It's like a post
Post.
method. If it is like update operation, okay, the method is like what? Put to, the next one is like patch. The retrieve operations, you can go with the get. If you want to delete, you can go with the delete. Okay, when retrieving the data, we can use like a head also. Head also. Okay, these are the request methods we are going to use based on the DB operations. Who decided my server side guy is going to decide. So from the server side guy, and he has to build what? From the server side guy, and he has to build what? He has to build. Come on, he has to build your address, your URL request method or not. He has to build the URL and the request method. Up here, okay? Everyone? Okay. So how to build this URL and request methods and everything and run our first endpoint, we'll see in the tomorrow session. Tomorrow also can join 7. Okay.
Okay, sir, to get these videos, we need to register on another link, right?
Second.
To get these Node.js videos, we need to register with another link.
Yeah. Now if you go here, PDS score, browser, did you register for Node or not? Okay, this one you can register. Okay, you're not registered. Huh?
Not yet, sir. How to
Okay,
register?
tomorrow I will share you the link. Okay, in the class you can register. Okay.
Okay, okay, fine.
Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.